Hello and welcome to Go Start a Band, a channel we've started really to map our progress as a sort of amateur starting out band, and to encourage others of any skill level to get out there and do the same. Just get out and start a band. Don't have to be good, as you'll see, but hopefully as we progress through the videos you'll see that we do improve over time. We do have one aim in mind, which is to play on a local beach as a stage that goes up each year for our TT motorcycle races, which is a world famous racing competition around early June each year. And they put up this stage on the beach to entertain the punters, and we've not really played for the public before. We've done a few garages, gigs in garages, and played at a local yacht club, but there's just for friends and family really. So this will be the first real public appreciation. We've also done a couple of gigs at a little festival in the practice tent, but I'll tell you about that later, or let some of the other band members tell you about that later. So this is, as I say, very much mapping out our journey as we go forward, and I'm hoping that there's some of the mistakes we've made in setting up the website and Instagram, Facebook, we can share some of those challenges along the way, so that if you decide to do the same, you don't make as many of the same mistakes. And I'm pretty sure that after watching us and you see our ability, it'll be very inspirational for you in terms of blimey, we can do better than that. So probably best kick off with introducing the core band members. We do get supplemented by Matt, young drummer, guest bassists and guest singers occasionally, and it's very much if you want to have a go, we're happy to fit in and give anyone a go on something they want to do, and that's what it's all about. So let me pass you over to have a chat with some of the band members.
I'm Dave, and I sing in the band and I'll play rhythm and lead guitar. If there's a guitar solo to be had, then it normally falls to me. But I think I've probably been playing the guitar a little bit longer than the other members of the band. Everybody was, well, most people showed up with the guitar actually, and I had a little bit of a head start. I started playing guitar when I was about 16, probably 15, can't remember now, long time ago. And at school, I guess I didn't really get into a band at school, but once I started work, I met a few people who were interested in playing in a band, and I did play when I was in my 20s. I played in a band for a short time. So yeah, I guess I had a little bit of a head start. I was never a singer in the other band. I just played rhythm guitar. So coming to the front and singing and playing lead guitar is a bit of a stretch for me, but it's a good challenge to have.
Hi, I'm Gavin, and I play in the band with Dave, Phil and Mike. I play the bass in the band, partly because no one else would. Also, I actually had a bass, which helped considerably. I did start playing guitar, but I'd always been interested in the bass, and had one lying around which I didn't do much with until I started in the band, and I've been playing it considerably more than I used to.
Hi, I'm Phil. I play rhythm guitar really, and I do the technician type stuff generally, so I'll pull the kit together, generally speaking, for the band, amps and PA in particular, and other bits and pieces like cameras, lighting, other stuff behind amps, and the like. I love gear, and I haven't got the patience of the other guys. After 2 minutes I'm on to the next thing. I want to do something different, try out something else. Dave talked about the practicing and dedication. I am rubbish at that. I'm just easily waylaid. For example, yesterday, building things like, I'll build a new bit for a synthesizer, when I know I should have been sat down practicing for songs. So That's a bit of a challenge for me, but that's where doing gigs, performing with focus, a dead set date that we've got to get together for, that is when, well, it's just like work really. I'm best working to tight deadlines.
Hello, I'm Mike. I am in the band. I am rhythm guitar and harmonica and backing vocals. I have here a D harmonica. As long as we play in the key of D, I can't play a wrong note, so something simple, or the harmonica is a really nice instrument to play. So portable, you can carry it around with you in your pocket. And I said, if the band are playing in the key of D, I can't play a wrong note, so I generally, when I'm backing the band, I play a different version every time we play.
I do like singing, but again, it's just I get a bit nervous, like everybody else, doing something unfamiliar. So I've been getting more confident with the singing, but also I'm having to choose most of the songs for the band, because I think the limitation is often my vocal ability, and therefore I'm trying to pick songs that, number one, that I would like and that the others would like, which is also something of a challenge to get everybody to like the same things. But also just trying to get a song that I can sing okay, and then we try and build around it. And a lot of the time I'm even having to change the key of the song and transpose the song so that it suits my voice. Well, I suppose my favourite music that I listen to is blues and rock music, and because I was a teenager in the late 70s and 80s, that's that sort of era that I would be most familiar with, but actually we've played all kinds of different things, and I just like music really, of all kinds, so we've played quite a lot of different things.
We practice about every couple of weeks or so, give or take, depending on what else is going on. It's good fun. I do practice a bit in between sessions. I should practice more than I do. I'm sure we should all practice more than we do. But yeah, depends on what's going on. You know, life gets in the way.
So in terms of practice and how often, well, very much. If there's something coming up, I'll put the practice in. I'm much better when we're together as a band. I sort of feel I let the side down a little bit because I don't do enough practice, and I know it drives others nuts. Yeah, if there's something coming up, I'll do a lot of practice, but it's suddenly gone a week and I've done nothing, or I've been building synthesizers, or I've been reviewing this, or trying out new microphones, or looking at the latest PA. So I can tell you all about the gear, but playing it is a different matter altogether.
I practice my guitar. I definitely don't practice it every day, but I practice it most days, and that might be a 10-minute pick it up type of thing, or it could be 2 hours of trying to learn something. And if we've got a performance that we're practicing for, that could be 10 or 15 songs, and that's really then a bit more focused, probably practicing those songs for an hour a day for several weeks.
Well, one of the reasons that I like being in the band is to play live. It was on my bucket list that at one time I would play live in front of an audience, which I have managed to do. We have played a couple of gigs, which were exciting, a bit nerve-wracking to start with, but really good fun.
I had two guitars that I bought when I was a teenager. In fact, I think they were probably birthday presents from my parents when I was 15 or 16. I had the electric guitar was a Tokai Strat, and it was red, just like my hero's Fender Strat, which was Mark Knopfler at the time. So I bought a guitar, or the best guitar I could afford at the time, which was that. And then I had an acoustic guitar, Yamaha acoustic, that I played as well. But having got into this band thing, I've gone a bit out of control with guitars. I've got quite a lot of them now, and I spend time playing them and fixing them up. So I've had a lot of guitars now, and that's part of the enjoyment for me. In my day job, I am an engineer, and I do, come from a background of designing and making and fixing things, and so I can't help taking guitars apart and doing work on them. It's all good fun.
We play a wide, or relatively wide range of songs. The songs I particularly like playing are the blues-based rock songs, primarily because the bass lines are easy as well. I love that driving bass. It's not too taxing either.
We've played live. In fact, the first time I played live was at a thing called Deep South Festival, which is a local village Port Erin festival in the Isle of Man. And I played on my own with an acoustic guitar. I think I played 20-minute set, which was pretty scary. And I thought at the time, I don't want to do that on my own. I want to have a bit of backup. So the next time I was invited back, thankfully, I got everyone else together. So that's how this whole band started, was to get to make sure I wasn't on my own the next time at the Deep South Festival. And the next time we played, we did a similar short set with the band, I think 5 songs. And then we got invited back again to do a whole set, so we must have done okay. We've all played several times at house parties, particularly my daughter's parties, because she's a bit of a party animal, and once a year in July we normally have what we call Hestival, and that is, we'll play for anything between half an hour and an hour, as long as the kids want us to play. And when I say kids, they're mostly between 17 and 21, so it's quite good fun playing with them, especially when they've had a few drinks.
So looking back to how we sort of really got started, there's probably two key things. And there was an advert in the local cafe window for new beginners starting to learn to play guitar, and it was just come along, no experience necessarily, absolutely from scratch, and that was good and took us some way. And then Dave had entered into a Deep South Festival. It's sort of a tent within a festival on the Isle of Man, so it's not quite Glastonbury. And I played there solo and didn't want to be playing on his own the following year, because it's just you in the spotlight. It's terrifying. And that really came together with Mike and Gavin. Subsequently joined in that practice session. I didn't know Gavin at all before then. Didn't really know Mike before then, though we had some work connections. So that really, that sort of beginning playing, Dave looking for some, not doing it on my own, want some support, was really, oh right, well we've got quite some months, it must have been almost half a year, probably more than that, as a target for, yes, we'll start a band then and we'll come along and have a go. So that was really it. Similar with Gavin, that's always been on the list for, as it probably is with a lot of people really, oh I'd love to play in a band, but unless something drives you to it, you ain't going to get around to doing it, unless you get out and go and start a band.
We're all getting better as we practice, and I would like to keep introducing more complex songs and more different types of music, and for everybody to be able to cope with, a lot, also to play a little bit better together. We're playing quite well together now when we practice.
The difficult thing about playing in a band is, I think, just trying to keep time, particularly when songs are a bit more complicated. It's just trying to keep it all together. But generally, it's pretty good, all good fun.
We're playing quite well together now when we practice, keeping in time and finding our own parts. But just taking on a bit more complicated things, maybe record a few things, do some different kinds of gigs if we can. We've never been paid to do anything, so that might be a milestone to aim at, to be paid to play for somebody. So lots of things ahead of us, and no pressure, because we all have pretty intense day jobs.